Oi, what you saying YouTube? It's your boy Dube bringing you guys a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, welcome of course, and I hope you guys like what I have to offer. Now today I'll be talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a really long time actually, and that's things I wish I knew before I went to college. Now just to give you guys a little bit of background, I'm 20 years old and I'm a track runner, and I go to Colby College, which is located in Maine. It's a small liberal arts school and it has about 2,000 students on their campus. Before I get into the major points of the video, the main takeaway I want you guys to take from this video is that when you go to college, your life is basically starting over. It's like going to a new school. So like, just don't come up in the school acting like you're the top dog, because first of all, there's people who have done the same things as you, and there's people who have done even better things than you. So just come in and act calm, and just don't act like you're doing anything. And this is going to relate to another point that I have to make later, just because when you come in, you're fresh off the boat. So just don't act like you're top or a king or anything, because at the end of the day, the stuff that you've done before still matters, but it doesn't really matter as much because you're in a new set, and you know the competition is fairly equal when you go into your schools, depending on what schools you go to. But for most around the board, the competition is fairly equal. Now the first thing is, don't brag about your high school accomplishments. So we know that there's people who always love to just chat about their high school life, and you know those people who have just never left the high school era, and you know the phrase where high school is their peak. That's what happens to some people. Some people talk about all the stuff they've done in high school and just never leave that era. College is just a new space, and you don't really want to bring back the memories, and honestly people just don't want to hear all that nonsense at the first time in the first place. So just keep it to yourself. There's times and places for you to talk about it, but if you talk about it all the time, then you're just doing yourself a bad favor, and people would probably not like you because you peaked in high school. Like, that's all you have to say. And like I said earlier, people have done better things and even things on the same level as you. So there's just so many people who have done the same thing as well. Now I'm not saying your accomplishments are minimal, but things like accomplishments and things are fairly like carried out depending on the school you go to. A school, especially my school, a fairly competitive school. There's a lot of kids who are top of their class. There's a lot of kids who achieve this. There's so many varsity athletes. Like, think about it. We have all the sports teams, so that's nothing too major. So just, you know, just don't necessarily brag about your stuff. You can talk about it, but just don't overboast about it, because just honestly nobody really wants to hear that. Now the second thing is, take time for yourself. College is going to be really stressful, and it's probably going to be like nothing you've ever experienced before. The workload is up, the independence is at an all-time low, and you just need to just manage yourself and just be aware of what your situation is. So just take time to relax, unwind, and just cool off. And school is just going to drain your energy as well, and it's just going to be so much to focus on. So don't always put everything in it to where you're mentally and physically drained. Just always take your time to relax, watch a Netflix show, or just do something that makes you calm, and that something like meditation or something like that can just make you relax. Because keep in mind, you're going to these classes every single day in that, and you just don't want to like work yourself down, because once you do that, you can find yourself in an even deeper hole. So just always take time to yourself and make sure your like well-being is up too, because if your well-being is not there, then everything else is just you're gonna struggle with. So like I said, just take time for yourself and find something that brings you peace once in a while, just so you can relax your brain and ease off the high work environment and all the work rates that are just going on at school. Number 3, this one is manage your time wisely. Now this is you've probably heard this so many times from your parents, from your friends, and everybody of that, and it's just because they're not lying. Like, it's the truth. You need to manage your time, because with managing time, like, you have the power to actually do anything. I know that sounds so cliche, but you really do have the power to do anything. If you manage your time well, stress will be at an all-time low, and you'll be able to get things done and just be able to relax and just not procrastinate and overcomplicate things. At my school, I've learned that a good thing that people do at my school is hit deadlines. People rarely get stuff late, but people always hit the deadlines. Now what I say for people is that now that they know they can hit the deadlines, just set those deadlines back, because some people will procrastinate and like they'll have the deadlines in their head, but they'll only do the work up until the deadline. So if you set the deadline earlier, then you hit that deadline earlier, and you can manage your time to a place where you can do the work over a spread amount of time, to where that you're not overstressing yourself out and you're still getting your work done and you're doing a good job of managing your time. Now with managing your time, you need to also plan things out and just keep track of everything. You have to keep track of the work you have to do, things you have to do, just stuff like that. And like if you're in athlete practice, if you're in the club meetings and just stuff like that. So what I recommend is that making some sort of calendar, which can either be a physical calendar or an electronic calendar, just something like that, or even like a planner that you can write in. And this will just help you see things, so you're not doing it all based on your head, so you actually see what you need to do, and that will go a long way. And trust me, managing your time might be one of the best things, because it will allow you to get stuff done, and then you'll also have time to be able to do stuff that you want to do on the side, whereas you won't have to cram stuff last minute, which results in less stress, and that is what we all want. You don't have to go out all the time. I repeat, you don't have to go out all the time. Now, just because all your friends are going out does not give you a reason saying that you have to go out. If you go out several nights in a row, you can get tired, stressed, and stuff like that. And I know it's fun, but you can get drained, and it's also taxing on your body, just depending on what you do. So just, you don't always have to go out. You can go out like 2 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row, but just don't always go out 24/7, because eventually you're gonna get tired of it, and you're gonna want some time to relax. Now, going out is actually indeed necessary, yeah, but just like I said, just don't overdo things. All good things come in moderation, so just don't overdo anything. And that basically goes with everything in life. Just don't overdo it, because it's just gonna become too much on you. So once you figure out the perfect balance, also balance is just something that in college that you're gonna need to find. Once you find that balance, you'll figure out like what works for you. Because as time goes on, you'll figure out if you're going out too much or if you're going out too little, and just stuff like that. So honestly, just don't do it excessively, don't do it too little, but do it in moderation, because moderation will help you. Number 4, utilize your school's resources. Now, if you guys don't know already, college is so expensive. The things that you have to pay for, textbooks, tuition, all that stuff can be quite taxing. So you might as well make use of everything that the school has to offer. This goes from finding things that can get you jobs during the summer, things that can help you during the school year, things that can help you outside of school, and things that can help you form connections. Using all these resources that your school has to offer is giving you the most value for your money. And also, if your parents are paying for your college as well, initially or at any point at the time, you should just they're investing their money into you, so you should invest in yourself, which is basically just use the resources that they have to offer. And doing this, you can't hurt yourself. There's so many good things out there, you're only going to help yourself. Each school has different things and different attributes and different resource departments that I guarantee you, whatever school you're at, you're bound to find anything that you want. And if you can't find anything, I promise you there is someone that you can go to that will help you find everything. And using the resources will just help you during the whole 4 years of your college, and it'll just help you relieve a lot of stress as well, because you're not doing everything on your own, because there's other support systems. You got libraries, you got tutors, and you just got people who can help you in general. And most of this stuff, obviously sometimes you do need to pay for this stuff, but like if you do use the resources, you can you can find things that are cheap and free, and just will help you become a stronger athlete, be stronger academically, and in all departments that you have to offer. So just use your school's resources, and it will take you a long way. And if you just don't use your school resources, you're hurting yourself. As a person like me, over the past few years, I haven't been the person to really use resources, but that has changed a lot for me. And ever since I have been using my resources, I feel like things have been much easier for me, and I've been able to get through things without stressing out too much. And it just helps you relax and just have a support system as well. Number 5, it's okay to accept that you're just not okay. Basically, like everything is not fine. Going to college it's like a whole different ballpark. It's something you've never experienced before, and there'll be times where you struggle, and there'll be times where you're at an all-time high. But the times where you struggle, yeah, is where you really are challenged, and that puts you in a situation where you need to go out of your comfort zone to get to the next step. So just first of all, you have to accept the fact that you're gonna be sad. There's things that you're gonna go through that you don't want, socially, academically, if you do athletics, athletically, and just stuff like that. So just use what your school has to offer. If you need counseling, if you need therapy, all that stuff like that. This stuff is just natural, and all this stuff has been coming up in the past couple of years. So just don't put that side away, because it will hurt you at one point. So just accept that things won't always be good, and that you need to get help and figure something else out in order to help you boost up your spirits if you get low. This can be from friends, from family, from school, resources, like I said, counseling and stuff like that. That would just help you tremendously. Don't always think that it's bad if you're not doing well, because I guarantee you, almost every person you've encountered on your campus has felt like that at least one point in their college agendas. So just keep that to yourself, and just always remember that it's just okay. Number 6, don't compare yourself to other people. If you constantly dwell over other people's actions and compare them to yourself, it's going to put you in a negative spot, and that is just draining your vibes and draining your energy. That's something that you just don't want to do. So basically, if you just want to use the energy comparing yourself to others, just take ownership of it and just use all that to become a better self. Now, comparing yourself is going to put you in a bad spot, because people, I'm saying it already, people will do better things than you. People will be better than you. People are better than you. So just don't always compare yourself, because that's just going to just drain your energy and be negative to you. And you want to become a better self. So instead of using that energy to compare you, build yourself up, get on your stuff, and just work towards becoming the best you can be. Because comparing yourself to others can be draining, and it's just going to put you in a situation that you feel like you just don't belong. And that's the last thing you need when you're in college. So don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you were before you came into the place, or at least a point where you were before in your life, so you can see how much you're improving. Now, one thing to say is that people do improve at different rates. So if your friends are doing things differently, or if other friends here are doing things differently, people move at different paces. So one person could be going up like this really fast, and one person can be going up really, really slow. So like I'm saying, don't compare yourself to others. We all have our own things that we're good at. We all have our own abilities, and we're all going to move at different speeds. So don't compare yourself to others. The last thing I want to say to you lot is make your dorm home. Now, ever since I went to school, I was so confused when I'll be out with my friends and people said I'm going home. In my head, I thought home literally was the home where they're actually from. But then I would ask people what do you mean by home? And they're like, oh, to my dorm. And I'm like, oh, you call your dorm home? And that just came to me, make your dorm your home. It's literally going to be the place where you stay more than your own home during the most part of the year until summer. So you really want to make it feel like you belong there. You really want to make it feel comfortable and cozy, and you really want it to be your sanctuary. Now, you're going to see people's rooms, and you can get inspiration online, or you can reference my room tour, which is on my channel, and I'll make another when I go to college my sophomore year. But just make your dorm a place where you can study, where you can chill with friends, and just a place where you can enjoy, because literally you're going to spend all your time in there. Now, don't overclutter your room, and lastly, do not bring everything from your room at home over there. Honestly, getting a college dorm is basically like buying a new apartment. It's going to allow you to decorate your room and do a bit of design in that. So this is your chance of what it's going to be like before. It's simulating getting a house, but it's just like a room. So just make your room as comfortable as it can be, just so that you feel at home and you don't feel out of place, and you feel less homesick, and you just feel comfortable. And I promise you that will be the icing on the cake, and that will make you feel really good. Get some nice pictures up, bring things that make you feel at home, get some nice bedding and stuff like that. And if you guys need any help, I can make a video of what things that you need to bring to college, and that would just help. But just make your dorm home, make it comfortable, make it cozy, make it a place where you look forward to going to every single night. Okay, so that wraps it up for the video of things that I wish you should have brought to college. Your freshman year is going to be a year that's tough, and it's going to be a year that you struggle, and it's going to be a year that you find yourself and know who you are and who you're going to become. So things may feel out of place, so I just made this video just for things that people should know. Your freshman year is going to be a big milestone of your life, and you're going to be open to many new and different challenges as well that you've never encountered in your life. So if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and a comment, and just feel free to like the video. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those comments, and lastly, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and hope you guys enjoy.